Hi, Day Trippers. I'm Lori.
And I'm Rex, and we wanted to welcome you to this video. And we're going to talk about something that's both near and dear to our hearts, which is Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Now, of course, we can't go out to Disneyland because the park is closed, obviously, because of the pandemic. But we want to talk about an event that was very special to us. Lori, you want to go through that for them?
Well, what it is, it was an actual event, but it was more of a silent auction and a viewing from.
It was called That's from Disneyland. And basically, what they did is the Van Eaton Gallery set up a place in Sherman Oaks where they could display all this stuff that a gentleman wanted to sell to help with medical research. And he raised quite a bit of money for that. But in there, he had amazing things, incredible things that were from Disneyland.
You would be blown away. I mean, starting off with the smallest things, you walk in the door and there was a Disney trash can. And then to the immediate right, they had a sea monster from the submarine voyages.
And they had a lot of other things too. They had a mermaid from the ride. They had different things.
They had the sign.
They had the sign that hung underneath the monorail platform. So it was pretty exciting. But they had a lot for the submarine voyage, but they also had a lot of other ride vehicles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, oh my goodness. Do we name them all?
Well, the only one I can name is the Rocket Rod, because that was the worst and best ride that Disney ever had. You know, it was a good idea, but it just never worked correctly. Loved the Rocket Rod, but name some of the other ones that were out there.
There was a car from Space Mountain. You saw a bobsled from the Matterhorn. There was a the pirate ship from Peter Pan. And there was Snow White's, the mine car, and there was Dumbo, and there was a the Tomorrowland People Mover. What am I forgetting?
Well, you're forgetting your favorite one of all of them.
Oh, yes.
The Doom Buggy.
The Haunted Mansion's Doom Buggy.
In fact, they had a whole section dedicated to the Haunted Mansion of a lot of props that the gentleman was selling.
What was really cool about that area, other than it being roped off with the velveteen ropes that were red and it had a little red carpet, you had to wait your turn and you were able to go take some pictures with the props. They had a breathing door.
Oh, they had them all. They had just incredible things. They
had the stretching room portraits for the originals, and they had a tombstone about the height of this table. Now, what was really neat was there was a little platform next to it, like right behind it. You were able to step up, and they had some flowers. They had some TNT, so you like a little dynamite, so you were able to pose kind of like the pictures. So it was really cool.
But the other thing that we liked is the fact that there were some things that were happening that normally people don't know about. And so that's what we really wanted to tell you about today. Like one of the vehicles that they had out there, they had the Global Van Lines truck, which sat on Main Street from 1962 to 1998. And basically, in 1998, they got rid of it, and nobody really knew where it went to. Until about 3 years ago, when I happened to talk to one of my friends, and she was telling me that her husband was a custom car designer and restorer. And actually, it's a gentleman by the name of Keith Dean, who's known as Kid Dean. His dad worked with George Barris. So, I mean, you know, Keith is one of the most notable, you know, car restorers and creators in the world right now. And he does fabulous work. But the reason she told me to go over to his shop was to see the Munster coach that he was building. She says, "You want to go see it?" And I said, "Sure." So I went over there. While I'm there, I look, and over to the back side of his shop, there was this big blue box. And the box looked familiar to me. And what it was the old Global Van Lines truck that had just been sprayed like a plain, you know, powder blue. and all the parts to it were missing. It was just stripped. And I asked him about it, and he says, "Yeah, that's the Global Van Lines truck. I've got to restore it." Well, it took him about a year and a half, but he restored it to its original luster. And finally, he was able to deliver it to the auction where they sold it. But the interesting thing about it was that I actually got to see it before it was restored, after it was restored, and I even got to ride in it. So that was kind of special. I really enjoyed that. And I just, you'll see the video at the end with me riding in it. It was an incredible vehicle, and he took a lot of time and a lot of work to put that back together again.
Oh, we forgot to mention that there was one of those big canoes that went around Pirate Island.
Oh yeah, Tom Sawyer's Island. You have the canoes and everything. There was one of those there. I mean, there was so much great stuff.
I mean, they even had a Disney trash can. I mean, like, I can't get over seeing a Disney trash can that you can actually own. Now, the other thing that was special to me, I mean, there was few areas that were real special, but they had an area that was the tiki room dedicated. They had the posters, the original posters. They had the Pan Am.
No, it was United.
United.
United Airlines. Yeah.
Oh, United Airlines.
Flying to the different parks from United, and they had pictures of the tiki birds and everything.
What was really neat is there was one special bird there on a perch. It was Jose the Barker bird, which went above the Dole Whip hut. And he would call everybody, amigos, don't forget the tiki room. So they would remind them to come in and see the show and sit for a while and have a Dole Whip. Well, what used to happen, I heard this a long time, and I think I remember a little bit of it when I was in high school, that darn bird would clog up the Adventureland's entrance so much that they had to take it down because no one would walk. Everyone would just stop to listen to the bird because he was like calling everyone's attention.
But they had a lot of big props. They had lots of small props.
Oh.
They had all kinds of incredible stuff.
They had the big D sign from original Disneyland.
Yeah, the Disneyland Hotel. They had the D there, and that sold at the auction. It was really incredible. But the thing that really amazed us was there was an event going on within the event, and Lori was fortunate enough to talk to Mr. Kraft, who had sponsored this whole event, and he let her join in on this event.
What had actually happened right before that time, I had purchased one of the posters in the gift shop of Shag, and I went back to Mr. Kraft and asked him if he would sign it, and he said sure. And the next thing you know, there's people coming down from the elevator, and this one lady comes up to him. I think she was like a personal assistant, and he goes, "I'll be right over there in a minute." And he turns and looks at me. He goes, "Hey kid, want to learn something? You can come along. You just got to hang in the back. Be quiet and listen, and you'll see." Well, what it ended up, there was 9 people there. These were elderly people. They were like in their 80s and 90s, but they were the original animators from way back to Snow White days. And they were going around looking at all the items one by one. And he was walking around with them, and he was telling them, getting them to talk about their stories, and it was really cool. We were actually able to listen and got some pictures, and we got one picture with all the animators right there in the picture. It was amazing.
Yeah, they all posed right in the Haunted Mansion area. So we got 2 of our favorite things: the animators and the Haunted Mansion together.
And right next to the Haunted Mansion area was dolls from the Small World. So it kind of fit real perfectly. And seeing all those things, those dolls, and seeing everything we saw there, I mean, it's like mind-boggling. This was in a store that was like, used to be a 2-story store with the escalator that went up and down. And apparently the animators were upstairs in a special area, sitting down waiting. So when they came down the elevator, it kind of surprised everyone.
Yeah, so it was a very exciting event, and getting to see these people that, made Disney history, these animators, was absolutely incredible.
Oh, the other incredible thing that Mr. Kerr talked about is that Dumbo ride. They had to have a crane. Apparently, I he had like an A-frame house, and they were able to hang the Dumbo from the ceiling, but they had to have a crane to hang it. Can you imagine having that in your ceiling in the living room where you can actually sit down and look up at Dumbo?
Not only that, but Jose from the Tiki Room, he said that hung over his son's bed. So that was pretty crazy, you
If
know.
I was able to take anything home from that event other than that poster, I would have took Jose. But it was just amazing to see everything there, you know?
So we got to have a great time there, you know, and like I say, it was Disney history. Plus, there was history in the making going on right there. So it was pretty exciting. So we had a great time, and now we're just looking forward to the parks to open up. I know that Knott's is about to start their 5th tasting, and we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to Disneyland opening up, and everybody's got new rides.
And Universal's getting ready to open up too.
I know.
And the Life of Pets is going to be open.
Yes, between Universal and then Disneyland with their, you know, Avengers Campus.
And Mario Land is getting ready to get done.
Right. Knott's Berry Farms has Knott's Berry Tales, which was a ride that was popular from 75 to 86. It went away, and now they have come up with a newer, updated version of it. And when the ride originally opened, I was like 20 years old, and now 45 years later, they're reopening it again and giving it a whole new life, and I can't wait.
Oh, there is something else we forgot to tell you about. The announcement. The exciting thing. The post office box.
We have a post office box now, so if you guys want to send us any mail, feel free to send it to me. My name's Rex Berry. You can send it to P.O. Box 646 in Homeland, California, 92548. And we'll read every one of your letters that you send us, so please feel free to send us stuff if you'd like. That's why we've got it.
Oh, and there's also another thing we like to do. We like to give a special shout out to Ordinary Adventures and to Five Fires and Stephen Kai, because they're the ones who are helping us with giving us information on tips on how to film. Because, you know, we're brand new at this. I know we're a little older than most people, but you know what? The more the merrier out there. And they also gave us some tips on editing software. And I want to thank you guys very much. Thank you, Mondo. Thank you, Peter and Ketra. And thank you, Stephen Kai.
I tell you, you know, they've been giving us all kinds of tips. And like she says, you know, we are definitely older than the average
YouTubers.
video bloggers out there, but we still love Disney. In fact, I mean, this is our tea room right here. We're in our house, so you know we've got it all decked out for Disney. We've got the tea room here, and we've got, you know, the spare bedroom decorated for the Haunted Mansion. So we're definitely Disney fans. We really love it, but we love all the other parks too. And I've grown up with Disneyland and Knott's throughout the years, and I've been to Universal, to Magic Mountain, to all the other parks, but Knott's and Disneyland were always the closest ones to me, and so they have a special place in my heart.
Oh, we also forgot to tell you that we have the app now we added to the Buy Me a Coffee app. It's linked on our YouTube.
So if you enjoy what you're seeing tonight, you can buy us a coffee. How about that? That's pretty good.
Just let us know. We're doing a good job. I mean, if you want to just like support, you can as well. So it's buymeacoffee.com/daytrippers LNR. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube at Daytrippers Adventures and on Instagram at daytrippers.lori.and Rex. We'll have the links in the video at the end of the video for you guys.
So it's getting pretty exciting. Plus, we have actually set up another little website, which we're going to be telling you about in the future.
Oh, this is going to be exciting for you. You know how we are doing day trips, like we went to Palm Springs and to Margaritaville and to Shag's Art Gallery? Well, we're going to be doing stuff at night as well. Maybe something a little scary.
So
maybe something a little fun.
You'll just have to wait and see. So, anyhow, we'd like to thank you for having us tonight in your home, and we hope that you all have a great day tomorrow and have a wonderful time at the parks when we see you there next.
Thank you. And by the way, if you see us out there in the park, come over and say hi. We'd love to talk to you.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot. Bye.